Empires are not built on comfort. They are built on suffering, on scars, on blood and tears that most people will never see. The truth is, pain is the currency of greatness. Every person you admire, every empire you look up to, every legacy that outlived its creator, behind it all is pain. Not ordinary pain, but pain that broke them down and forced them to rebuild themselves into something unrecognizable. You say you want success, but are you willing to suffer for it? Because pain builds empires and nothing else does. Think about your own life for a moment. Every time you grew stronger, every time you became tougher, every time you discovered a version of yourself you did not know existed, it happened through pain. It did not happen when things were easy. It did not happen when you were comfortable. It happened when life hit you, when you wanted to quit, when everything around you seemed impossible. Pain is the fire that melts away who you were and forges who you must become. Without it, you remain soft. With it, you become unbreakable. But most people run from pain. They do everything they can to avoid discomfort. They hide behind excuses, distractions, and comfort zones, thinking they are protecting themselves. What they are really doing is destroying themselves slowly. Because a painless life is not a life at all. It is stagnation. It is mediocrity. It is death without burial. Look around you. The ones who hide from pain live small lives, safe lives, forgettable lives. But the ones who face it head-on, who embrace it, who bleed for their vision, those are the ones who build empires. Pain strips you bare. It shows you who you really are. Anyone can smile when things are easy, but pain reveals the truth. It exposes your fears, your weaknesses, your doubts. It pushes you to the edge asking, will you break or will you fight? And in that moment, you decide what kind of person you are. Most people break. They quit, they surrender, they vanish. But the few who keep pushing, who walk through the fire instead of running from it, they are the ones who rise. Every empire is a story of endurance. Every leader, every champion, every legend faced storms that should have destroyed them. They lost money, lost friends, lost faith, lost everything. But they refused to let the pain end them. Instead, they used it. They turned their suffering into strength, their failures into lessons, their heartbreak into hunger. Pain was not their enemy. It was their weapon. And with that weapon, they carved their names into history. Ask yourself, what will your pain create? Will it destroy you, or will it build you? Because you cannot escape it. Life will hurt you, no matter who you are. You will face loss, failure, rejection, heartbreak. You cannot avoid it, but you can decide what to do with it. You can let it bury you, or you can use it to build your empire. The world does not reward those who avoid pain. It rewards those who transform it. Look at the stories of greatness. Behind every victory is a battlefield of pain. Behind every success is a graveyard of failures. Behind every triumph is a lifetime of suffering that no one clapped for. That is the price. That is the toll. Pain first, empire later. Always. So the next time life breaks you, do not ask, why me? Ask, what now? Because the pain you feel today is shaping the foundation of the empire you will stand on tomorrow. The suffering you endure is building walls of strength that nobody can tear down. Every scar you carry is proof that you survived something meant to destroy you. And every empire is built by survivors who refuse to quit. Pain builds empires. Your tears, your losses, your sacrifices, they are not wasted if you keep going. They are bricks. And if you lay them one by one, no matter how heavy they feel, eventually you will look up and realize that you have built something unshakable, something eternal, something the world will never forget. Pain is the great teacher that most people try to silence, but the winners, the builders, the empire creators, they listen to it. They let pain guide them, mold them, sharpen them. Every rejection that crushed them forced them to grow tougher skin. Every failure that humiliated them forced them to build smarter strategies. Every heartbreak that shattered them forced them to find strength in places they did not know existed. Pain takes everything you think you are and burns it down until only the strongest parts remain. And from those ashes, a new version of you is born. That version is the one capable of building an empire. But the truth is ugly. Pain is relentless. It will test you in ways you never imagined. It will strip away your comfort. It will take away your sleep. It will push you to the edge of madness. And in those moments, quitting feels like salvation. Walking away feels like peace. But if you quit, all you get is emptiness. You trade temporary relief for permanent regret. You escape the pain of struggle only to inherit the pain of knowing you wasted your potential. The world is filled with quitters who live quiet lives of regret, haunted by the ghosts of empires they could have built. Those who embrace pain, on the other hand, carry a different weight. Their lives are not easy. They wake up early, work late, sacrifice comfort, sacrifice relationships, sacrifice peace of mind. They bleed for their vision, and the world calls them crazy. But when their empire stands tall, when their name is remembered, when their legacy is unshakable, the world finally calls them great. The same people who doubted them will applaud them. The same voices that mocked them will tell their story. Pain turns the rejected into the respected. The grind hurts, discipline hurts, sacrifice hurts. But pain is not punishment, it is preparation. The pain of lifting breaks your muscles so they can rebuild stronger. The pain of discipline breaks your bad habits so you can form unbreakable ones. The pain of failure breaks your illusions so you can see the truth. Every kind of pain, if you survive it, adds another layer to your empire. But most people never see the end result because they quit halfway through the suffering. They leave before the breakthrough. They stop building before the walls can rise. You have to understand, pain is not a detour. It is the road. You cannot build anything great without walking through it. There are no shortcuts, no easy paths, no smooth rides. Every empire stands on a foundation of sleepless nights, sacrifices nobody saw, struggles nobody understood. People will see the empire and call it success, but only you will know how much pain it took to build. The question is, are you willing to suffer for it? Are you willing to endure when others give up? Are you willing to bleed, to sweat, to cry, to crawl, and still keep moving forward? Because that is the price. No empire was ever built by someone who gave up when it hurt. No empire was ever built by someone who avoided struggle. No empire was ever built by someone who played it safe. Pain is the toll, and only those who pay it get to cross into greatness. And here is the truth that should shake you. Your pain will outlast you. If you endure it, if you use it, if you let it build your empire, your suffering today will echo for generations. Your children will live in the house you built with your pain. Your name will be spoken because of the sacrifices you made. Your empire will stand because you refused to quit when it hurt. But if you run from pain, if you surrender to it, all that is left is silence. Nothing to pass down, nothing to remember, nothing to show, just excuses. Pain is the deciding factor. It separates those who are remembered from those who are forgotten. Everyone feels it, but only a few transform it. And those few are the ones who build empires. Pain is the foundation of every great empire because it strips away illusions and leaves only truth. When life crushes you, there is no pretending, no hiding behind words, no masks to wear. Pain forces you to face yourself as you are, and in that raw confrontation, you either break or you rise. Most people break. They retreat into comfort. They surrender to weakness. They escape into distractions. But those who rise, they build. They use the same pain that destroys others as the very fuel that powers them forward. That is why their names echo long after they are gone. Think of the most powerful stories in history. They are not tales of ease or luxury. They are stories of hardship, of struggle, of relentless suffering turned into greatness. The leaders who built nations carried scars the world never saw. The inventors who changed history endured ridicule and failure that would have crushed ordinary people. The entrepreneurs who shaped industries bled through bankruptcies, betrayals, and losses that could have ended them. What separated them from the countless others who quit? They understood that pain was not the obstacle. It was the requirement. Pain refines vision. When you suffer, your priorities become clear. Comfort clouds your judgment, but pain burns away the unnecessary and focuses you on what truly matters. That is why those who have endured the most often build the strongest empires. They know the cost, and they are willing to keep paying it because they see something bigger than the pain. They see the legacy, the empire, the permanence that will outlast their suffering. And make no mistake, pain is permanent in some form. You either live with the pain of discipline, of sacrifice, of relentless effort, or you live with the pain of regret. One hurts for a season, the other hurts for a lifetime. One builds, the other destroys. Which pain do you carry right now? Because one will create an empire, and the other will bury your dreams. The harshest truth is that most people will never build anything lasting because they are too afraid of pain. They want success without scars, victory without losses, greatness without suffering. They look for shortcuts, easy paths, secret formulas. And when life inevitably hurts them, they take it as a sign to stop. But the ones who build empires, they expect the pain. They embrace it. They see every blow, every loss, every rejection as proof they are on the right path. Pain is not a signal to quit. It is confirmation that you are exactly where you should be. The empire you dream of, whether it is wealth, legacy, respect, or freedom, will not come cheaply. It demands pain. It demands sleepless nights, long days, sacrifices nobody claps for, and choices nobody understands. It demands that you suffer in silence while the world mocks you, doubts you, forgets you. And then, one day, the world will see the result of everything you built from that pain. And they will call you a success. They will call you an empire builder. But only you will know the truth, that your empire was not built on applause, but on agony. So the next time you are hurting, the next time you feel broken, the next time you want to quit, remember this: pain is not your enemy. Pain is your architect. Pain is designing the foundation of your empire, brick by brick, scar by scar. If you stop now, if you walk away from the suffering, you abandon the very thing building your greatness. But if you endure, if you keep going, if you allow the pain to shape you instead of destroy you, then one day you will look back and realize that every ounce of suffering was worth it. Pain builds empires. The question is not whether you will face it. The question is whether you will let it break you or build you.